What's going on, y'all? And welcome to another episode of Resilient Kings Podcast.
Whoa. Now you about to start some controversy here.
I am your host, Yaron Brown.
Hold on a minute. This is a Resilient King alert. Resilient King alert. You ain't gonna roll past that.
This is Resilient Kings Podcast coming to you.
Let's go. Welcome back to Resilient Kings Radio. I'm your host, Yaron Brown, and this is part 2 with William Maloney, Mr. CTAE. If you didn't catch the first episode, you need to make sure you listen to that one, because this part 2 is going to be jam-packed, full of more information, more content, more information about trades and how these young men could get into trades and live a successful, fruitful existence. And we're going to find out a little bit more about Mr. CTAE and everything that he has going on. Thank you for coming back, Will. I appreciate you sticking with us for part 2 of this wonderful topic of trades. So at the end of our last segment, you talked about trades being ordained by God, and you referenced a verse in the Bible. Talk to me about why you believe trades have been sanctioned by God.
All right, great question. So what it is basically, like I said, I'm a Christian. So if you read the word, what it was, because whenever I had Moses, when they went through and they went to the promised land and everything, and so when God told him to go ahead and build my house, build the temple. So in Exodus 35, verse 10, he said, "Let every skilled craftsman among you come and make everything that the Lord has commanded." So he started out with, they had seamstresses because they did all the drapery. They did all the sewing in it. They had goldsmith for them to make the different things out of gold. They had carpenters to do all the woodwork. So they had stonemasons. They had all of that. All those are skilled trades. So these people were actually doing that on their own. But then when God called them, they came and he multiplied and made it better because they quit the other jobs to work on the temple.
Okay.
They were entrepreneurs.
And very early time entrepreneurs. So let me ask this question. How does one get into trades, right? How do you start out doing trades?
Yes, sir. So trades basically is, you see them all the time. And I tell you, the most famous trades you can find out, if you want to find out what trades do, find the cranes in Atlanta. Anytime you see a crane, follow it and go to that construction site. There's many different trades on that site. So trades is basically working with your hands. We create things. You can start off with, right now, kids can start off in high school because like they have different programs in Gwinnett County, for example. They have Maxwell School of Technology and they have Grayson Tech. Where when I was in school, it took 2 years to go through the programs. Now they do it in 1. So these kids can be cosmetologists. They can be firefighting. They can actually start as a firefighter straight out of high school.
So is firefighting a trade?
It's more of a profession, but it's kind of in the trades a little bit.
Okay.
We figure it out. So it's kind of like those outliers a little bit.
Gotcha.
They have collision repair. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. We work on cars, mechanics. They have culinary arts is a huge one. And so those are just a few of them. Veterinary science, they actually work on animals in high school. You know what I'm saying? They do cybersecurity. So it's a lot of different things that kids can do straight in high school, and it costs them not a dime. It's free.
Hold on a minute. You said cybersecurity. I thought cybersecurity, you had to go to school for 4 years to do cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity, if you go to Grayson Tech right now, you can get a dual enrollment credit, high school, you can get college credit for that right now. And that's actually in 12 months, but actually cybersecurity right now is 18 months. Anybody can do it. Grown people can do it. 18 months tops.
Cybersecurity.
And making top dollar. I don't even have the numbers right now, but it's outrageous what those kids are making right now, cybersecurity.
So why isn't any, so help me understand this. Why are you one of the only ones I hear talking about trades?
Wow. Okay. But it's starting to become a little bit popular. And so it was in my heart. So let me tell you how I got into counseling. And
Okay.
so I ran my own business, concrete business all the time, did well at it. And I saw a lot of young guys come in. I'm like, why y'all kicked out of school for? Y'all very smart thing, but it's minor stuff they got kicked out. So I said, you know what? If somebody don't go back and help these young guys, it's gonna be bad for all of us. So my God has a good sense of humor. He's like, guess what? You go. I was like, me? I was like, nah, I'm not going. And so how I got into it was my mom was at work one day and she was murdered. All right. So
Oh,
at work by some people high on drugs, whatever it was. So right then that lets me know, you know what? I need to go ahead and do what I was told to do. So I enrolled in college. She passed away in April. I had enrolled, got accepted, and took the MAT to get in less than a month at a HBCU, which is unheard of. All right. So I was working in a month. It blew my mind. When I thought about it, went back, I was like, it was only a month and all that happened. So I knew it was. So I was running my own construction company, working 60 to 80 hours a week, going to class 3 nights a week and on Saturdays. So I was doing a big juggling act and I did that for 2 years. And it came out with a 4.0. So if there's a will, there's a way. Yes, sir. And so when I went back to college, and so I became a school counselor, and what I found out was the more I did it, I'm like, more in the country, you learn a little bit more about trades, but now, no knock against colleges. Colleges are needed, colleges are great. But the two biggest things going right now in society are colleges and prisons. They never slow down during the pandemic. They steady building. Colleges have some beautiful stuff they're building because it's a money making thing. Both of them makes huge money for the upper echelons, if we shall say, because that's where all the money at. But what it was for trades, I'm like, this is not right. Why are we not telling these kids? And so I would do little things while I would go and talk to the kids in class, and they'd be mad, like, why nobody told me this? You know what I'm saying? Or either I started a CTAE club at Archer High School just to share information for everybody. I can show you how you can go to college for free, debt free, by learning the trade and doing that in college.
man, you are
Which one
giving
you want
people
to make?
so much game right now.
ten
So
dollars an
hold
hour, or you want to make $50 an hour, or 20 to 25, $30 an hour while you in college?
and so hold on a minute. So how did Mr. CTAE come about?
Basically, what it was, I was tired of. All right, so I have some conflicts at my school. I'm good. I'm Carolina country, so you can bring it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't shy away from anything from a challenge. And so, as a school counselor, I saw a lot of things that these kids were stressing about these academics. I ain't calling them specific programs because I don't want to rough no fellas, which I always do, which is fine by me. But I'm like, why are we doing these kids? And then what I've seen was they do this, they go to college, and then in about the second or the third year, their brains crack and they're done. So now they got all the student loan debt without a degree. They didn't graduate, they quit because they's like, college now is extension of high school to them. They don't see it as it's like when I was growing up, it's like great, we go to college. Now it's like I got 4 or 5 more years of school. And so, and it's different the striving of it. But with these trades, I said, you know what? When I tell parents, if your kid don't go to college, don't make them. They look at me like my head was spinning around when I say that. I said, let them learn a trade, let them go and make money and to support themselves. So you don't have to support them because McDonald's is fine, but trades is where they're gonna make money. And when they decide to go back to college, guess what? They can pay for it out of pocket. Can I share something with you, Mr. Yaron? Most of my coworkers right now, like I said, well, not many, some of my coworkers, like they have degrees and they're banking on paying for it for, was it 10 years without missing a payment? And hopefully the government will forgive my loan. So, but what I tell people all the time, you know who didn't get loan forgiveness during those pandemic times? Tradespeople. You know why? Because they made enough money to support themselves with no debt. That's why they didn't get forgiveness.
Ooh wee. Ooh wee. So let me ask this question, right? So we got a lot of young people that may or may not be tuning into this. We have their parents that probably are tuning into this. We may have some board members from schools and politicians that may be tuning into this. Why is it that we wait so long to get kids in trades or have an opportunity to do something? Why do we wait to the last 2 years or years when they don't want to be in high school anymore. They're ready to drop out because we know now I don't know this for sure, but I think I heard this correctly. The ninth grade year, it has the greatest rate of failures of any year in high school.
Yes.
So you got kids that don't have motivation to want to go or want to do those things. I'm thinking to myself, why not intertwine some of those hands-on activities into the academics to get them excited about staying in school because you're giving them something to do outside of just sitting in the classroom. That could just be me. I could be missing the whole boat.
It's not you. So that's you are spot on. Because most of the time what it was like, we have at our different schools have different programs, hands-on CTAE stuff that you can do, audio visual, things like that. But most of the time what the problem is, the kids, they be like, they have been indoctrinated to say that trades are bad. You know what I'm saying? And so we want you to do college. We want you to do academics. Don't think about these because these are lower, lesser jobs. But the sad thing is, when I talk to a lot of people who are successful now, their parents were in trades who helped them get there. Like their dad was a mason who worked his fingers to the bone to make sure they got a college degree with no debt. But yet we're looking down on these things now. So where's the disconnect in that?
So hold on a minute. You touching on something here. So we have now, on a larger scale, told people that trades aren't good. And so let me. So y'all, I hope y'all listening to this. I hope y'all listening to this with beyond just your ears. What I'm hearing is that trades are bad, no debt. College is good, debt.
Yes.
I can make similar money or more in trades than I do in college long term on average, right? So all of y'all out there that's going to tell me and tell Will that what about lawyers and doctors and give me something else, Will, that makes a lot of money. Lawyers, engineers, right? Those are outlier professions. I'm not sure if y'all know that or not. Those aren't common professions of the average middle class person, right? Those are outside of that scope. Not saying that anyone does not have the ability to do those things. What we're saying is your average person working their average job that's making between $40,000 to $60,000 a year out of college, presumably. What I hear you saying, Brother Will, is that you have trades that are making that out of high school, not out of college.
Yes. So I have example. I had a female who she was having some anxieties about school, didn't want school, hated school, wanted to quit. So she ended up getting in the welding program. She loved it. She would talk about it every morning. I get her pumped up. When she graduated from high school, she got a job making $25 an hour as an apprenticeship program, which means it's a 4-year program. They was paying her $25 an hour to learn how to do welding. So here's what it was. So I always call it earn while you learn. When you go to college, all right, let me give you an example. Okay, let's just say we got Jim, who's going to be a lawyer. Okay, at the end, when Jim starts, when he gets his degree, he's gonna make $50,000 a year. Okay, as a lawyer, starting up. All right. So let's go back and let's talk about Amy. Amy wants to be, let's say, a brick mason. All right. Amy decides to go to apprenticeship program. She don't go to trade school. She goes, because let me explain to you. You can go to a trade school for 2 years, or you can do something called apprenticeship, which means you go straight to work. You do the work. They teach you how to do it. So it takes about 4 years for you to get your different certifications. All right. So let's just say Amy makes about $40,000 a year. Okay. At the end of the first year of college, how much money does Jim make as a lawyer?
Well, he probably ain't making too much of nothing because he got them loans.
He's still in school. So he ain't made nothing at the end.
Oh,
Amy just made $40,000 the first year. All right. Yeah. So at the end of 4 years, Jim starts off making $50,000. At the end of 4 years, Amy done made 40, 80, 160,000, right? And Amy has no student loan debt. Jim got $200, $250, $300,000 worth of debt.
So I'm gonna push back on this Well, I'm gonna push back on this a little bit.
Oh, go ahead.
So the average listener is gonna say, well, a lawyer don't make no 50,000. He make probably about 125,000 a year once he gets
Okay,
out of law school. And
okay.
but how long does law school typically take?
There you go. I tell you, colleges right now are figuring 6 to 8 years. They're not figuring 4 anymore. So
Okay,
you make 120, and so let's just say 6 years, but here's what it was. All right. So yes, okay, we'll give him 120. All right, 120,000. No problem. How much debt did they have for $120,000?
okay, okay.
And that's what he makes. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no harm, but most lawyers gonna buy a very expensive car. They're gonna buy these high dollar suits because they got to look good, play the part. So you got to do that. So all that costs money.
Mm.
So
So yeah,
meanwhile, my tradespeople, they done got several bonuses and raises. So they probably gonna be making close. Like I tell you, I had a commercial plumber at the end of 4 years. He gonna make $120,000 starting off.
so let me. All right. So I'm gonna say something else that the listeners may comment on that I may get in my comment section. Right? They may say, well, where a lawyer can do law until he gets 80, right? He can retire, right?
Mhm.
What can a tradesman do? A tradesman can't do. You can't be a plumber or a mason at 80 or 70 years old. So what is their retirement plan? How do they make money in their retirement, Will?
Great. I'm glad you said that. So let me give you an example. I got a nephew. He's a welder, right? So he works at the power plants up and down the East Coast. So he goes from Georgia to Virginia, South Carolina, all over the place, right?
Okay.
So more people don't think trades now. It's not like it used to. They have 401ks. They have buy-in where the companies actually give them stock dividends and things like that. So right now, he said after his 401k, after taxes, he brings $7,500 every 2 weeks. So he makes about 20 grand a month welding, and he hasn't welded in years. He's just a supervisor now. So guess what? You can be 70 and 80, but guess what? You're not out there doing it. You teaching the young generation because they need the supervisors to show these young people what to do. So you can work in these professions as long as you want, but most of the time, what you do is, okay, I start this, but most people have a side gig, so it turns into their own business, and usually they'll transition out or do both. So he always has something to sit back on.
Hold on a minute now.
I can run a
Now you giving too much out. Now you didn't gave too much out.
I can start a company, and guess what? I'm a welder. I got 10 welders working for me. I'm gonna tell you one more thing. I met a guy the other day at the gas station. He was a welder. He said he had a prison record, so he couldn't get hired anyway. So he went to school to be a welder. And in a year, he has 4 welding rigs right now. And they work on the gas pipeline. He makes money out of the wazoo.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Welding gas
Now
pipes
you Will.
on the
Now you
job.
doing. Now hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Whoa.
I
Because you
told
know
everybody,
you
sir.
now yeah, we almost at the end of our second episode, and you didn't
Mhm.
just do a whole monkey wrench in the whole thing. You telling me somebody with a prison record can pick up a trade?
Wide open. Look at it. It's male, female. They don't care if you're a woman, you're a guy. Trades only care about, can you do my job? We don't care what color you are. We don't care if you got tattoos. We don't care if your hair is red, orange, sticking up like a spike. We don't care. Can you drive this truck? Can you put this thing together? That's all the trades care about.
Hold on a
And
minute.
guess
You
what?
got
Wait a
a
minute.
lot of people that have been incarcerated that can't find work.
Man, looking at trades waiting. Most of them have to start their own businesses, but trades, we don't care nothing about prison. Like some jobs, we have to vet them because certain things high government security. You can't go on certain jobs, but they have other jobs for them. But let me tell you something. You remember during the pandemic, everybody was at home and people wasn't working. A lot of people lost their jobs. But guess who did not slow down? But actually, they loved the pandemic more than anybody else. The tradespeople. Construction, they were building wide open in Atlanta with no traffic. They was getting deliveries on time. The truck drivers were happy because they made more money than ever because nobody was on the road stopping them from driving. These people made good money. And you see cranes every day, and they never stopped it during the pandemic. Never.
Y'all don't understand what y'all are getting today. I'm not sure y'all have a clear understanding of all the information that you are getting related to trades, related to a man's success. He is giving out free game about trades. I'm not sure if y'all really understand what's happening here. Like, I don't understand. I don't think you guys really understand how he is unlocking opportunities for you guys to succeed beyond what the system says you can succeed. I'm not sure y'all understanding this. So last episode, I asked you what was your greatest struggle in life. I want you to end this episode with telling me about what your greatest triumph in life has been.
I would say my greatest triumph is getting up every day and forging forward. Teaching the up and coming generation all the knowledge that I have. I don't want to take this to the grave. I want to give it out freely. So that's why I started CTAE Consulting and Counseling Corner. I have a website. I'm on social media. I post. So I got to do a little bit more on my social media side. But I want to share, because what I do is go through all of the 17 career clusters and show you how you can do trades and nodes and highlight them. It's free. I come and speak to kids at schools. I spoke to the School Counseling Association. I come and do presentations to different male groups. If you need me, contact me. Mr. CTAE at CTAEinsights.com.
So again, you guys can reach him, and that is through social media. Is that through the same thing through social media,
Instagram,
Mr. CTAE?
Facebook, yes. Yep.
So you can reach him on all social media platforms, Mr. CTAE. So last episode, we shouted out your dad, right? Now, we can't just let him live forever. Your mama got to live forever too. So what's your mother's name?
Her name was Carolyn Elaine Sally Maloney.
Absolutely. So now she lives forever too. Is there anything you want to say before we end this episode to everyone that's listening?
Yes. What I want to tell you is learn a trade or two to be independent and create freedom for you. So find your passion and do it daily.
That's it, y'all. This is Resilient Kings Podcast, coming to you, bringing you all the knowledge and information that you could ever want and need from men that look like you. This is not about us trying to put on some kind of airs or create some euphoric space. We are having real men talking about real stuff that you can use in your daily life. Until next time, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in.